checking in with sections 3 and 4 of Benediction. The first section, the first number 3 being kind of just a general hanging out with the guys kind of thing, back in the reception room. Met a half dozen more of Keith's particular friends. Got to meet this Reagan with a scarred face and piercing intent eyes that followed her about the room, and seeing like, okay, yeah, I can see what Keith means about this is a guy who you'd like to have with you, good in a fight. She thought it was like maybe kind of a missionary type. And it's interesting. There's a guy, Jimmy, who's like, oh, I like to see the shimmy, which is one of the dance crazes, and it's like, oh, I don't know if that would be good for Jimmy's soul, and the maxi, I guess, was troubling him through all that first year of his start here at the seminary. And there was a thing here of that one of his friends lets her know that like an old lady who comes here to mass sent Keith ice cream for you because she heard you were coming, and it's like it's pretty good, and it's like it's one of those, wow, he's the tears come to her eyes, sort of really touched by this, touched by the thought. And then section 4 is I guess sort of some kind of a religious experience that she has. She's in the chapel, and they're doing, they're going through, music, and she suddenly kind of gets like, she feels separated from Keith on one side, and is it Keith on one side, and is it Jarvis on the other, and they suddenly felt like, yeah, they felt very like dead men, is what she calls, like, they're suddenly, her soul receives from them. And it's like, what's the matter with me? And I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like, she's sweating, and it's like, what's the matter with me? And she gets this rising panic. She sees a candle, but she's just like, it's wrong. Something's wrong with that candle. Yeah, and there was something coming out of it, and it wasn't like just the wick. It wasn't just the wick going wrong. It was something else, and it's ugh, and she's kneeling, and there's a flaming monstrous slowly left the altar in the hands of the priest, and she hears a great rushing noise in her ears. The crash of bells was like hammer blows, and in a moment that seemed eternal, a great torrent rolled over her heart, and there was shouting, there was a lashing as waves, and she's feeling this great weight on herself. Weight. She's calling out to Keith, oh Keith, oh my God, Keith. And then she suddenly becomes aware of a new presence, something external in front of her, consummate and expressed in warm red tracery, and she knew it was the widow of Francis Xavier, the founder of the Jesuits. And blessed be God comes out, which is, I think, just the end of the ceremony, and then the response from everyone else is blessed be God, blessed be his holy name. And everything blurred into a swinging mist with a sound half gasp, half cry. She rocked on her feet, reeling backwards into Keith's suddenly outstretched arms. So this is all internal stuff. It's like, what's the matter with me? Great weight. Seeing Xavier's, the warmth of Xavier's widow, which is interesting. I didn't know that Xavier had a widow. Was he married? Was this priests and all that, being unmarried? Because that's the whole thing about this seminary. It's all these men who are retreating from the world, but also retreating from the idea of being with women, and the church's ideas about women, and like why they have that separation for priests. It's seen as like, okay, yeah, it's very good and holy to be in holy matrimony with another person, unified through efficiencies of God, but that there is that implication of like that if you're really holy, you separate yourself out from that, from bodily concerns, and one of those main bodily concerns being the attraction to others. So that is section 3 and 4 of Benediction, and I guess that's the name of this ceremony, is the Benediction, I think is what it's called. I'll have to look it up because I poor on my Roman Catholicism. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.